Hello! So this has been recorded after I actually recorded my original tutorial and I forgot to do an intro because, I don't know, I just forgot. And so this is my tutorial on dyeing natural fibres with cheaper alternatives such as food colouring and vinegar. So I have another one which I can write about, which is using citric acid. And this is a cheaper alternative to using Dylon dyes and RIT dyes as they cost quite a bit and you only get a one-time use out of them versus food colouring, which most people tend to have in their house. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial and I'll get on into the video now. So for my supplies, I have white vinegar, which I guess you can just use any vinegar that's clear, a cup, my food colouring of choice, so I have green and yellow, cup measurements, my fabric, so I have 100% silk, I think it's silk de peony, I'm not sure which one it is, I just got it from Spotlight, and then also cotton poplin, which is 20% cotton and 80% polyester, so it won't dye as well, but I can show you how it dyes in this. And yeah, and then I also have snap lock bags because this is what you need. You also need a microwave and warm water. Okay, so for our first step is to set up our mixture, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the fabric inside the vinegar and water for 15 minutes, and after that then we're going to put it into these bags, sit it for 5 minutes, and then put it in the microwave for a minute or 30 seconds. So for every 200 ml of water you're going to use 4 capfuls of vinegar. So for measuring, which I didn't say before because my measuring cups aren't as good, I'm going to fill up the line to 200 ml and then put it in here. I'm probably going to use 400 ml in total just so I can be able to easily get the fabric out of this cup, which means I'll need 8 capfuls of the vinegar. So you want to use warm water, which you can use from the tap, or let water boil and then cool it down from the kettle. Once that's done, you just want to stir it around a bit, which I probably should have said get a spoon, but sometimes you forget these things. And then you want to take all your fabric and dip it inside, and then set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay. So once your timer is done, mine has about 30 seconds left, we are going to start setting up these. So what we need is to fill the bag about halfway, so about here. I used about a cup of water, and you just fill the bag and then put in 6 drops of food colouring. So I'm going to place my pieces of fabric just onto a paper towel to dry a little bit while I set up my bags. So you have the bags here, and I'm going to put in some food colouring. So this one's going to be my yellow. Just going to put in a little amount. That should be enough. Just going to stir it around a little bit. And then put in 1 cotton and 1 silk. And then just dip it in. And then you want to close the bag so there's barely any air left. This means it doesn't get too hot and burst on you, hopefully, in the microwave. That's my first bag. And while I set up that, I'll just put it to the side while I set up my second bag. So this one's going to be my green bag. So this one's a little bit less than halfway. You can probably put more water in it, but because I'm going only using a small amount of fabric, and also just gonna only be in there for a little bit and take all the air out. I can just use a little bit less water. So put a bit more food colouring in than I wanted to, but it should have a good effect. So put my fabric in there. Then I'm going to put these in a container, so then if they do burst, it just goes into the container, the water, and then put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds to 1 minute, depending on how long I want it to be in there. So I'll put it in for 30 seconds, check it, and if it's hot enough, if you feel by how hot the plastic bag is, if it feels quite warm, then you take it out. If it's not warm enough, then you need to put it in for another 10-20 seconds. So put these into the microwave for a total of 45 seconds, and they're quite warm. They're warm enough, so that's good. And so I'm going to leave them and time it for 5 minutes, and after about 5 to 6, maybe 7 minutes, depending on how long you want to. You can leave them as long as you want, but you don't need to leave them in for that long. I'm going to rinse them out with cold water to get all the food colouring out, and then I'll show you the results. Okay, so my 5 minutes is up and I have rinsed all of these out with cold water. So these are the two poplins. As you can tell, there isn't much of a difference, but there is a light sheen. And then these are my two silks, which are very vibrant in colour, so you can see how it affects different natural fibres. This works really well with things like wool, which give it a nice pastel colour. Straight cotton gives it also a nice pastel colour, whereas this is mostly polyester, so it isn't dyeing as well, but I thought I'd show you guys how it does affect it. And in my blog post below, the link to my blog post on my website, I will have comparison pictures between these and the original fabric, as well as other types of fabric. So other fabrics that work really well with this method of dyeing is cotton, works really well with pastel colours, wool, hemp or hessian or toot work quite well. It gives it more of a pastel-y colour as well, and because it's quite often a brown base versus a white base like these colours, it does have a different colour payoff. But yeah, so this is my cheaper dyeing alternative to buying the dyes from places like Spotlight, other craft stores and such. It's a lot more cheaper and uses ingredients you have in your home, such as vinegar, water, food colouring and a microwave. So I hope you liked this little tutorial, and if you guys want to see any more tutorials from me, just let me know down below, and don't forget to check out all my links and such. Thank you.